It's really easy to confuse guilt and toxic shame. Guilt is a feeling we have whenever we actually do something that goes against our value system. Guilt is really and truly being able to have sorrow about my impact on someone else, aided by remembering how we're all made. I remember one time with Sonia, she'd been in Ecuador this is before we got married, she'd been in Ecuador for 4 months. And she came back having experienced all that culture had to offer. And she came back, just with knowledge and speaking Spanish. And she was eating in the continental style where you hold your fork and your knife at the same time. And I belittled her for that and even made fun of her for doing something like that because I was threatened by the changes in her. And by the way, I saw the pain on her face when I said it. And also, you know what, she kind of went back to eating like everybody else. A couple of years later, after looking on back how I had responded, what I said to her, I recognized the impact of my actions had on her. And I remember looking at her and just over something that was so old, and yet I remember the look on her face, something I had said to her back then, and I told her how sorry I was and asked if she would forgive me, because I took something from her that wasn't mine to take. I took away her freedom. I took away her potential to be creative. I took away her sort of like her risk-taking, and by making fun of her. So I asked her to forgive me. Something that seemed so small was actually so big, and that's what guilt can do for us. It can actually allow us to say we're sorry for something that may seem small, but is really big. So it went against my value system to make fun of someone or to take something from someone that they were celebrating in themselves. So guilt is a feeling we have whenever we do something that goes against our value system. Toxic shame is no matter what, it's never over. When I sought forgiveness from Sonia, she forgave me and it was over. Though I remember it and I don't want to repeat it, toxic shame is no matter what I do to seek forgiveness, it's never enough. So guilt is based upon the actions we take. I made a mistake versus I am a mistake. Sonia forgave me, it was over. Versus no matter what I do, I'll never believe that I will be forgiven. I have to do more. I'm going to make mistakes, but I also have to admit them and repair it and be forgiven for them. When we admit our feeling of guilt and the actions that went with producing it, we end up receiving the gift of what guilt can do for us. It gives us forgiveness, which gives us freedom. Impaired guilt is toxic shame. People who won't admit their guilt are actually bound up in toxic shame because if they have to admit that they're sorry, somehow it means that they're worthless or that they deserve to be punished or that they can't be loved again, instead of believing that they can be. Admitting your guilt matters for the sake of your own freedom, the freedom to live fully in a relationship again, or the freedom to be yourself again and to have the burden off of you. If you can't do guilt, then you really can't live fully. So if you aren't capable of admitting your impact on others or others' impact on you, then you're never free. But if you can give forgiveness, then you're together again. In fact, reconciliation means to meet again, which means that which was standing between you is gone. So by asking for forgiveness, it ends up being an action that allows repair. It puts us in relationship rather than taking us out of relationship. Believe it or not, and ironically, guilt makes the world a better place. Guilt is a mirror to hold up to myself and even to others that, I need to seek forgiveness, and sometimes others need to seek forgiveness from me. So are you willing to let someone know that you're carrying guilt? Or are you willing to let someone know that you have hurt directly related to their actions, and then by dealing with the guilt, you wind up coming to a place of repair, reconciliation to meet again, because that which was between you is gone, allowing you to be joined together again. Guilt is healthy. Guilt is freeing. Guilt is forgiveness.